I've reviewed hundreds, if not thousands, of agent social media profiles, and there's one thing, almost without exception, that separates the ones that are getting leads from the ones that don't. I'm going to break that down for you right now and show you how to fix it. What is up, guys? Welcome to episode 426 of the Massive Agent Podcast. I am your host, Dustin Brome, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Today, I'm going to help you fix your broken social media efforts. I'm going to help you get some freaking business from social, get some actual views, actual conversations, have your content perform well, possibly for the first time ever. Because look, there's a pattern that I keep seeing with agents whose content is quietly crushing it. Right. And once I point this out, you're not going to be able to unsee it. You're going to look at every piece of content. Sorry, you're going to look at every piece of content that you've ever made completely differently. You're going to approach the content that you do in the future differently, because the agents who crack that code on content, they do this one thing differently. And the wild part is it has nothing to do with how many followers you have, your budget, or how good you look on camera or any of that stuff. It's a tactic. It's a strategy. It's a format. It's something that you need to have in your content, or your content needs to be done a specific way. All right, I'm going to tease you a little more here. You've been telling everybody, as you should, that you're a great agent, that they should hire you, that you're the expert, you're a great negotiator. You get the seller's property under contract for more money than any other agent, all that good stuff, right? You're great at finding deals, but have you ever actually shown someone that you have or can do those things? Because there's a reason why agents with half your experience, half your capability, half your intelligence even, they're selling all the homes, they're getting all the attention online, they're crushing it on social, but you're not. And they're way less capable than you, because they figured this one thing out, right? So 2 agents, same market, same follower count. One agent posts, "I help buyers win in competitive markets." Okay, that's good. The other posts a video where they break down exactly how their buyer just won a bidding war, exactly what they did to make their client's offer that much more attractive so that they won in a bidding war. Guess which one of those 2 agents is getting all the business from social? Okay. Now you're starting, I'm painting the picture here of this common thread that agents that are crushing it and getting a bunch of business, they're doing this one thing. Okay. The best marketing that you'll create doesn't have any selling in it. There's no pitches, maybe even no calls to action. It's just you demonstrating and doing the thing that you claim to be good at. You're demonstrating that you have done it. You're telling stories about situations where you have and you've achieved certain results in certain ways by doing certain things, instead of just saying that you can. So, showing proof over promise. This common thread is showing and not telling. Back in 2022, 2023, talking head videos were crushing it on social, Instagram and TikTok specifically, because it was a fairly new thing. Short form vertical video has not been around for 30 years. Short form vertical video with Reels and TikToks have really only been around since 2021, 2022. And if those worked back then, talking head videos worked. All you had to do was talk to the camera and just say things, teach lessons, give a hot take or an opinion on certain things, and it worked. But over time, we as social media consumers, we expect more. And what happened too, there's so much content being put out there that the bar keeps going up, like the quality bar for, what is a high quality post that someone will actually want to watch. That standard keeps going up because there's just so much great content out there, right? So unfortunately, some of us got way too comfortable with just doing talking head videos where we don't actually demonstrate the thing, we just talk about the thing. That doesn't work anymore. So agents that are crushing it on social have figured out how to show visually what they're talking about. So here's some examples of that. Okay. So by the way, talking head videos, if you're just doing a video where you're sitting at your desk talking about a certain subject, stop it. Those are just, it's not a good use of your time. Now there's a right way to do it, or a better way to do it for sure, where you demonstrate certain things, you show charts or graphs or images, or if you're talking about math, you have a whiteboard and you literally like write it out so people can visually see it and tangibly understand what you're talking about. That is the better way to teach a lesson through social, to be educational through social. So instead of just a talking head video where you just say a bunch of things, do a green screen where you have a chart. Or if you're talking about a restaurant, if you want to do a piece of content about this new restaurant in your market, instead of just talking about the restaurant while you're sitting in your car, hey, you need to go check out this restaurant. Go stand in front of the restaurant and record the video there so people can see what you're talking about. Record it from inside the restaurant. Or if you don't want to do that, if it's too far away or you just don't want to take the time, go to Google, find an image or even a video from their social media account, screen record it, put it behind you as a green screen, and then just talk about the restaurant that's behind you. Talk about what it is, because then there's a visual demonstration of it. If someone told me you got to go to this restaurant, it has the best ambiance and blah, 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 and they were just telling me, that puts a lot of the work on me to have to imagine what it's like. But if they just showed me a freaking picture, now I instantly like, oh, that's what you're talking about. Oh, cool. And if it's a video, that's even better. You have to show and not just tell on social media anymore. One of my mentors, Sharon Srivatsa, he says proof over promise. That's always stuck with me. Show proof. Don't just promise that you can do the thing. And by the way, Sharon, if you know Sharon Srivatsa and follow him on social, he has been on this podcast before. It's one of our best performing, I think it is the best performing podcast interview I've ever done on the show on YouTube. It's episode 334. It's called How to Win Every Listing. You can just go to the Massive Agent YouTube channel and search for Sharon and Massive Agent Sharon, whatever. Or I will link to it in the show notes and the YouTube description below. If you want to watch that, I highly recommend you do. There's a reason why that episode went bonkers. He breaks down how to win every listing. It is one of the most brilliant approaches and mindsets that I've heard when it comes to listing presentations and getting listings. Because if you follow his process in that episode, you'll win every freaking listing. I'll link to it below, or just go to the Massive Agent YouTube channel and search for How to Win Every Listing with Sharon Srivatsa. Okay, so if you're talking about a restaurant, show the restaurant. You're talking about certain food, show the food. If you're talking about a park in your town, show some images of the park, or better yet, go to the park and record yourself there. So as you're talking about the new playground, you can show it and point to it. It's not enough to just talk about the thing. It's not enough to just promise the thing. You have to show proof. You have to show. People need tangible visual representation of whatever you're talking about. If you're not doing that and you start doing it, your content will perform dramatically better. I guarantee it. So here's another example. Let's say you want to break down why it makes sense to buy a house, like the math behind it, the financials behind it. And you're going to compare renting versus buying. Well, there's a lot of numbers involved. Instead of you just talking about it, get a whiteboard. Stand in front of a whiteboard. You can even have it all drawn out already and then just point to the different parts of it, but visually show that math being done, because then people can follow along. If you just throw numbers out, if they're not paying attention, which most people aren't when they're watching social, it just goes out the other ear, or they don't grasp it. They're just like, okay, there's a bunch of numbers and I don't really understand what he just said. Show the math. If you don't have a whiteboard, freaking grab a notepad and just start writing it out, or write it out and then, point to it with the camera over your shoulder. Have someone hold the camera over your shoulder as you go through it. That, first off, that format crushes, because people are wondering what's being taught here. Like there's something about you writing out a process on a whiteboard or a notepad that keeps people locked in, because they want to see what comes next. They want to complete whatever it is you're showing them, assuming they're interested, of course. But that's the benefit of showing versus telling. It locks people in because they want to see how it ends. They want to see the process. They want to learn. And most people are visual learners. You can't just speak at them and expect them to grasp these concepts. If you're talking about a certain neighborhood or a certain listing and how close it is to a train station, a park, a Trader Joe's, a Starbucks, whatever, instead of just saying, hey, this property is just a 5-minute walk from Trader Joe's, take a screenshot of the Google Maps, show point A, point B, show how close it is. Or if it's that close, record yourself walking it and just speed it up. Like, the walking is just, sped up, but show how close that townhouse is to the beach. If it's just a 90-second walk, go do it and literally show them. Or take a drone and show, here's the townhouse, here's the beach. That's the path. You can't just say it's a 90-second walk from the beach. Show people so they can tangibly feel it, see it, and picture it for themselves. So show things on a map. If you want to, if you're like, hey, this new listing's coming up at this location, and you're not, maybe it's an hour away or something, or it's not even built yet. You're like, hey, this thing is going to be built. There's going to be a Trader Joe's being built on the corner of this intersection. Well, instead of just saying the intersection, show on Google Maps a screenshot of the thing, or go to Google Street View and screen record that and, spin it around and post that video with you on top through the green screen feature, talking about that Trader Joe's and when it's coming and all the different announcements and details around that. That's how you make compelling content, is by showing and demonstrating instead of just telling and promising. If you talk about how you write such strong offers for your buyers, okay, that's great. We'll show how. Maybe you record yourself walking through adding an escalation clause to an offer, what it means, how you do it, what it does, why they want one, and how it's going to benefit them. Or just tell a story of an actual scenario where, for example, an escalation clause helped your client win and beat out everybody else. Give tangible examples, stories of it being done, not just, hey, I get my offers accepted. Because people don't believe that shit. Speaking of which, let's talk about reviews and testimonials, shall we? If you are spending your time taking a testimonial from your client, bringing it into Canva and creating a nice testimonial graphic, stop it. Save your time. Stop wasting your time doing that, because those aren't believable. You may think it is because it looks nice. Here's what you do instead, which takes much less time. It's so much easier. If your client sends you a text that says, thank you, we love this house. We're going to be referring you to our cousin. They might need to sell next week. We had a great experience, blah, blah, blah. And it's basically a testimonial. Screenshot the frickin' text, post that. Put that on your website, not just the text from it that you put into some fancy thing. Show the actual text, the actual DM, the actual Snapchat message, the actual Google review that they wrote. Screenshot that and post that. That's what you should be highlighting, because that's believable. People these days are cynical. And if you say that so-and-so said this about you, okay, cool. Like, that's great. But it doesn't really have the impact as showing an actual screenshot of the text or the DM where they say those things. Maybe it doesn't look as pretty, but do you want it to look pretty, or do you want it to have impact and get the job done? I think we know the answer to that. We all need to get better at this in general, okay, as content creators, but agents especially. I get it. If you're getting into the content creation game, you should be proud that you're at least doing it. Even if you're doing it poorly, or, and you're going to get better at it, it's better to do it. But know where you're at too. Okay. If you have the ability, like if you've been doing content enough where you're like, okay, I understand what I'm doing. Now, how the hell do I optimize it and make it better? This is what you focus on. If you're brand new to creating content, this is what you focus on too. But there's just a longer learning curve. There's a lot more repetitions that it's going to take for you to really get comfortable and good at it. And that's fine. That's normal. That's how it works. I've never met anybody that they're just like, I'm going to do social media now, and they just start doing viral videos. I've never seen it. I don't even think that that's possible. I mean, Mr. Beast was posting absolute garbage, but he just kept doing it over and over and over and over and over, and then reinvesting back in and over and over and over. It's all about repetitions. So know where you're at in the process. Give yourself credit. If you're like, look, it's a win that I'm posting it all. I agree. But also, two things can be true at the same time. Let's get better next time. and get better the time after that, and so on. And this is when you're looking at an idea that you want to present, how can you visually show it? How can you demonstrate it? How can you give evidence of it? That is how you win on social, by showing, not telling. I hope that was helpful. Audit the content that you're doing and figure out how you can make it more tangible and more just burn proof over promise into your brain. How can you show proof versus just promising? If that is conscious in your mind as you're creating content, you're going to do better content that more people will want to watch, more people will watch, your average watch time will increase, which will help all of your content do better. You're going to get more DMs, you're going to get more conversation started. You will sell more houses because of social. And it all starts with being conscious and thoughtful about the right way of doing things. If you have not yet, I recommend you go take my free masterclass, where I break down the right way, the formula that top agents are using all around the country to sell 10, 11, 12 homes every single month, 10, 11, 12 new clients every single month by using social media the right way. I break down exactly what that right way looks like. It's totally free. You just have to go over to clientsfromsocial.com and attend that class. And by the way, I'll be doing a new masterclass in the very near future. So the current one will just go away. I don't want you to miss it. I'll be replacing it with something else. So while it lasts, go watch the masterclass at clientsfromsocial.com. Hope this was helpful. Please share this with an agent who needs to hear it. Share this with your broker, your team leader, a fellow content creator, anyone. If you found value in it, someone you know would as well. Please share it. Help us to reach new people. Help me to reach new audiences and new agents with this show. And I'll keep coming back every week with another episode. Thank you so much. And by the way, make sure you go over to the Massive Agent YouTube channel. I just dropped a banger of an episode. Instagram changed their algorithm for 2026, but this time, small creators, if you have like 100 to 400 followers, you stand to benefit so much more, and you can actually beat out. This video shows how you, as a smaller creator, can beat out those with 100,000, 200,000 followers just by following the new rules of Instagram. That is my new video over on YouTube right now. You can watch it today over at the Massive Agent YouTube channel. Thank you for listening. I'll see you guys next week.